Some days, getting out of bed is a mission. Some days it takes every ounce of me to do normal everyday activities. There were times when I was not sure if I could go on anymore, and the things that used to make me happy no longer did so. I started this project knowing that I could not be the only one in the world that felt like this. I knew I couldn't be the only one that was bogged down by the soul-crushing defeat that comes with being branded as mentally ill. So often are the young and mentally ill cast aside as crazy. I wanted to be able to prove them wrong. I knew that there had to be other women, college-age women, going through the same thing, thinking they were alone too. This is the story of those women and how they are rising above defeat.
I was first diagnosed with a mental illness when I was a sophomore in high school. That was really kind of freaky at the point. I didn't really even understand what mental illness was, so it was kind of just like a label for what was going on for me. I was diagnosed with bulimia, anxiety, and depression.
I first found out that I had a mental illness about 8 months ago. I was diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder, and it really changed my entire life. Growing up, I thought that my personality was just who I was, but I soon learned that after being on medication that that's not who I was, but it was an effect of the mental illness. I was very aggressive, I was very angry. I would have these extreme ups and these extreme lows where I would be very euphoric one minute and want to kill myself the next. It was a very hard time in my life, and I just thought it was a normal, everyday teenager thing. I didn't really understand. Okay, can you pause that?
I was never officially diagnosed with mental illness, but I kind of realized it when I was a junior in high school. I'd been like cutting myself for 5 years at that point, so I mean, you know.
I was first diagnosed with mental illness when I was 9 years old. I was diagnosed with manic depression.
Having a mental illness has affected my life in the way that it completely flipped it upside down and kind of just made me have to re-examine a lot of things. Starting when I was like 15, I guess, when I got the diagnosis, like I was pulled out of school to go to treatment just because I was so destructive at that point and so addicted to the bulimic behaviors. So that was like, you know, everyone knows now. So I kind of like left school, went to that, and then I came back and nothing was ever the same. It was always in my life at that point. Having a mental illness impacted my life a lot because my self-destructive behaviors started seeping into other aspects of my life without me even really noticing it. Like I was dating people who weren't nice to me, and I was using that as a form of self-destruction on top of everything else that I was doing. I was failing out of school and didn't even really care about the whole like future thing. I didn't even really consider the fact that I might actually be alive after like 25. So it just kind of affected a lot of different ways. I think a stigma about bulimia is that it's something that you choose to do. Obviously, I feel like everyone thinks that it's just, you know, you lose control, or, well, you know, you recognize that the behavior is losing control over eating, but I feel like people don't really make the connection that that is like a complete loss of control, and it like consumes you. It consumes hours like of your day. Like, it's not anything I would want to do. I think a really big stigma that's attached to cutting is that we're like crazy, because I mean, most people don't feel the need to physically hurt themselves to feel better, but it's not crazy, it's just a bad coping skill, and I think that's really important because it's not talked about ever. And I think the more we don't talk about it, the more likely that like kids and more people are gonna start doing it, because they don't recognize how bad it can turn into.
Illness.
The stigmas attached to being a manic depressive is that people think that everything they do or say will change my mood rapidly, and that I can't contain my emotions, as well as I'm either up or down and there's no medium, that I'm either really, 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 really happy or really, 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 really depressed.
Currently, I'm taking Vyvanse for my ADHD and Zoloft for anxiety and depression. One of the only side effects that I've noticed from the Vyvanse is just heart palpitations, but that's really minor unless I've been taking it like consecutively. And then the Zoloft, I mean, first I have a little bit of drowsiness like whenever I go back on and off it, but then it kind of just evens out and does what it's supposed to do. I am not currently on any prescription medication, but I smoke weed to get rid of my anxiety and depression.
I'm currently taking 3 different types of medication to keep me at a stable pace. I am taking Depakote, Abilify, and Metformin, which is to keep my weight down from the weight gain that Depakote brings on. Depakote and Abilify are mood stabilizers, and they make sure that I don't swing out of control violently.
Having a mental illness has affected my college career greatly because my anxiety has become a lot worse since going away to school, and it got to the point where I was skipping classes or meals because I didn't want to leave my room. Has affected college life for me in pretty drastic ways. Firstly, just the eating disorder, like coming to college, that was kind of triggering, so it was kind of like working my way back up to, you know, the phase of recovery that I was at before. That was one of the obstacles of coming to college. And then, I mean, with my ADD, or ADHD, I guess it's just that when I don't really pay attention when I don't take my meds and I don't do my homework, so yeah, that's not good.
Having a mental illness and being in college has really affected the way I approach my homework, the way I approach my course load, and the way that I schedule my day. I know what I can handle and what I can't handle, so I try to make sure that as much free time as I have possible goes to what counts. And I have to make sure that I have me time, because without me time, I start to get really depressed and really sad. And by me time, I just mean enough time where I'm not doing homework to kind of sit there and relax and regroup my feelings and my thoughts.